to our earlier title, Demystifying Modern Banking. Today, we have the privileges to hosting experts in field, Mr. Demystifying Ji. Demystifying Ji, digital product founder, assist, assist product from Dubai, uh, will enlighten students with these valuable insights into the fundamental of modern banking, including digital banking, financial literacy, and the importance of saving and investment. So, without any further ado, let's dive into the world of modern banking with our senior speaker, Mr. He joined me in giving them a warm virtual welcome. Mr. Despas, over to you, sir.
Thank you. Hello, all. Good to see all of you. And I hope you are able to hear me all. Can I just check? Are you able to hear me?
So,
Are you able to hear me?
yes,
Voice.
sir.
Okay. So just I will start just with a brief introduction about myself. That would give you a good idea about what we are gonna to have today, and give you a slight background about me, that what I'm working on, and how this session is going to add value to you all. And then I have a few slides, which I'm going to take you through, that will tell you a good perspective regarding a banking and how modern banking is getting changed today, not just only in India, but across the world. So that view you will have. So my name is Jaspal. Thanks for the introduction, Veerji. So right now I'm working as a digital product owner for one of the largest banks in UAE, known as ENBD, Emirates National Bank of Dubai. And I'm responsible for handling the asset products. When we say asset product, it means the products like loans, credit cards, and anything which is related to financing any kind of a project within the bank. So this is what my role is today, and I am in and out having experience of banking from the past 12 to 13 years. I've started my career in India, then I spent 5 years in Singapore and Malaysia, specifically in banking. And post that, I worked again in India for a year or so, and then I shifted to Dubai. Started working for one of the largest banks in UAE, which is First Abu Dhabi Bank, and now I have joined Emirates NBD almost 1 year back. So that's a brief intro that what I am working on or what I have experienced. Now I have a few slides for you. Let me just share my screen so that. Are you able to see my screen?
No, sir.
Okay.
Please share your screen.
I think only host can share the screen. So shall I? That's the option which is coming. Only host can share the screen.
You are the host now.
Okay. Okay.
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਵੀਰ ਜੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ
Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh. Veer ji, I'm just trying to share my screen. The option which is coming over here is,
I think Harman Viji, can you make Jaspal Viji as co-host?
I think I'm the host right now. Slides, but it is not letting me share my desktop screen. The option which I got earlier when I was doing a testing with Harman Ji. Content is-
Is there an option to share a document?
So you are host now, sir.
Let me just try it one more time. Like it is giving me an option of a whiteboard, Harman ji.
सर नीचे एक शेयर स्क्रीन की ऑप्शंस आ रही है
Whiteboard के नीचे
सर इट्स व्हाइट बोर्ड एप्स एंड स्क्रीन शेयर
ओके मेरे को स्क्रीन नहीं आ रहा, एप्स आ रहा है, फाइल्स आ रही हैं एंड एडवांस्ड करके एक आ रहा है, उसमें स्लाइड्स एंड वर्चुअल बैकग्राउंड आ रहा है.
इट्स म्यूट स्टॉप वीडियो एंड शेयर स्क्रीन एप्स व्हाइट बोर्ड एंड मोड्स यहाँ पे सर एक शो हो रहा है स्क्रीन शेयर
Okay. In order to save time, can I send you my slides, Harmanji? If you can present from there, from your side. Let's not waste participants' time. Is that fine, Harmanji?
नो सर
Shall I send you my slides?
यस
Over
सर यस
Yeah.
सर यस सर
Yeah. Just wait.
So, Jaspal Viji, मैं Harmeet here. I just have to leave the conversation. मैं बस ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ thank you ਕਹਿਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਹੀ join ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ for
नहीं, नहीं.
sharing the time and probably like after this session because right now Eternal University students may also be joining in within 2-3 minutes. So I just got a ping from there. So
Okay.
I hope after this session we will also like to continue certain more sessions wherein proper insights related to analytics banking can be provided to our students. And
Sure.
I would also request VG because most of the students from Punjab and Haryana basically, so they have one thing in mind कि ਅਸੀਂ Canada जाना है तो US जाना है. So मेरा ये सी कि because you have been in Dubai and we also met you in Dubai, so there are many things which students don't know about Dubai. So if there can be an opportunity wherein like the students can like be placed in Dubai and they can also understand what is the benefits of doing a job or going ahead with some career options in Dubai. वो भी तुसी
Hmm.
please highlight करना during your session because most of the students are not aware about how Dubai can also play a stepping stone in their career path. So
Sure.
ਉਹੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ share ਕਰਨਾ. And I once again thank you Viji for giving your time. And I may take your leave now because I have another meeting right now. So I have to join that. ਬਾਕੀ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ evening ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ call ਤੇ discuss ਕਰ ਲਾਂਗਾ.
Sure, Virji. No, no worries, no worries. Thank you, Virji, for giving this
Thank you.
opportunity. And Harmanji, I have already shared my slides to you. So over an email from the email ID that you have sent an email to me in the morning. So you can share the screen. No worries, Virji. So okay, let's utilize some of this time. By the time the slides would share in front of you people, I think it's very important. Let's start talking about the banking. Okay. So what are we expecting from today's session, right? What would be the outcome for you all, what you are going to learn, and why this session is so important, and what you are going to learn from this session? So basically today I'm going to give you a very high level view about banking, which we call banking 101, which is more about fundamentals, which would tell you why banking is existing today, what are the needs of banks, okay, why they are actually there in the market, then what are the different pillars or fundamentals, or I would say the basic elements of banking. Okay. That would give you a good overview. Like if some of you would end up tomorrow working in a bank, you would understand how a bank would operate and what are the different skill set that you need to develop as students, so that you would be able to crack any interview in future for the bank. Third thing that we are talking about, which is the main theme of this session, is demystifying the modernization of banking, right? Which is basically now that how today banking is changing in the industry. Okay, what are the different factors that have impacted the bank? Thank you, Harmanveer ji. So we can go to the next
You're
slide.
welcome.
If you can change the slide to the next slide.
Ji sir, ji sir.
Okay, so this is what the main theme is, and there will be a fourth point also where we would talk about, why UAE or there are so many other countries which are also important from career perspective. So today, from a learning perspective on the banking, these are the three important things that you would learn today. So when you would walk out from this room, you would know how a bank would function, okay, which we call it banking 101. Second thing, what are the important elements of banking? Because if we want to open a new bank, then what are the basic requirements that we need to have at a first place? And the third thing is, which is banking 4.0, which we call it today, that is banking in the world of fintechs, okay, which is today's banking, how modern banking is different from traditional banking, and how banks are making money in today's world. Now, one question which would come to your mind, and it was one of the most important question which came into my mind when I was a student just like you, and I used to sit in these sessions, कि मुझे इस सेशन से क्या मिलेगा? Why should I sit in this session? मिन्नू की फायदा है ऐस सेशन अटेंड करन तो, ठीक है ना? मैं क्यों बैठा, मैं क्यों अपना टाइम लावा एक घंटा पूरा to listen somebody who is talking about banking? Why should I listen to him? So the the major learning for you people is that though you are from, maybe you are from, some of you are from commerce background, okay, some of you are doing MBA, some of you are commerce students when it comes to graduation, but you learn about economics, commerce, mathematics, strategy, analytics in a bits and in small pieces, okay, but there is no course or no holistic curriculum which would tell you about banking as an overall. That's why there are many institutes out there who would release their own programs just to teach students about banking, how a bank would work, okay. There are a number of videos which are available online. There are a number of articles which are available on many good sites like LinkedIn. Medium is a very good source. Whenever you want to learn something new, go to Medium. You would learn a lot of things. So what I have done is, based on my experience, not on any bookish knowledge, today I'm going to explain you banking in a very layman language. In fact, today with you, I'm going to open a one bank and let's call it K Bank. Kalgetar Bank, okay, and we are going to and I'm going to take you through the journey. If tomorrow you and me need to open this bank, then what are the basic steps that we need to take? What are the basic elements or ingredients that we need to consider, so that at the end of a day, this bank would operational profitability is there, and the bank would be able to serve its customers with all the products and fulfill their needs and demands whenever it comes. Okay, तो हम इस case study से चलते हैं. Second thing is, I'm not very big fan of PowerPoints, because I personally believe if you know something, then it is better you draw, you sketch, you show. But unfortunately, I'm taking this session from the way you are sitting in India. So that is not possible. That's why I have kept a very basic slides only with some elements on it. So you need to hear me and feel free to ask any question in between. I mean, you need not to wait till the end of the session. If you have a question, stop me. I would be very glad to answer your questions. And a good session is a session when it is always a two-way. Had I been there, I would have played a few games with you. during the session, which would also help you to understand banking and which would also gauge your interest on this particular topic. But anyways, we will try to make it as exciting for you as possible. And I hope at the end of the session, you will gain something and you would be able to implement not just only during your studies, but for your future interviews and for your jobs as well. Okay, ji? Let's go to the next slide, which would talk about banking 101. Okay, very simple concept. Okay, banking 101. Now, in between, you would say this building, let's call it K Bank, which is Kalgedhar Bank. Now, when a bank needs to operate, very simple principle is, from one hand, you need to have a supply of money, and on the other hand, you need to have a demand of money, right? So today, maybe in this closed room, maybe two friends, can come up and say that, okay, I have a money, I have a 10,000 rupees and somebody needs 8,000 rupees. So I will lend you my money, and in return to that, you will pay me certain interest. Okay. So between two parties, peer to peer, this lending is possible, right? But when we talk about large demand of money, large people who need money, who need to deposit their money, who want, need to earn some extra income on their money, then at that point of time, you need a one central party who would be able to cater to the needs of the supplier of money, and as well as the needs of those people who need money at a certain point of time. Okay, so very basically, if tomorrow we need to open a K bank, what we require funds. In banking, we call it deposits. Okay, very simple. Tomorrow, and as a bank, we need to serve the needs of people who need money from us. So we are going to loan this money on behalf of my customers at a certain interest rate to them. And those people who are depositing their money to me, I'm also going to give them certain interest rate back to them. So that's why today, whenever you go, maybe you have your own account, or maybe you would see the account of your parents, you earn a certain percentage on your current account or on your savings account or on your fixed deposits, right? 7%, 7.5%. Current account and savings account would give you around 3 or 3.5%. So this is the percentage which, as a bank, I would offer to those people who are depositing their money into my bank. Very simple. And I take this money and now I would extend and use this money for those people who need this money. So somebody needs home loan, somebody needs car loan, somebody needs personal loan, right? So I'm going to offer, 10%, 12%, 14% on that particular loan to this party. Okay. And whatever the difference is, like I take money as an FD at 7.5%, but I'm giving as a home loan at 14%. So this 6.5% is the spread, or I call it the profit. Now, profit in the sense is that this is the margin which I have, but I have to cover for my own cost. I have to cover for my own operations, and whatever is left over is a net income. And on that, I need to pay taxes back to the government as well, right? So whatever is left over at the end of the day, it is my actual money. Okay. So these two sides, left hand side and right hand side, is very clear, very simple. There is no big thing about it. Now, this is one aspect of it. Okay. And banks won't make much margins, or there is not much money in that, or it is a very basic concept of a bank, which was there in 1950s, 1960s, 1970s for our own country. But over a period of time, what happens is new investment products have come up. Okay. So what bank would do also, bank sometime, helps the government to fund their projects. Okay. They buy bonds of the governments, they buy bonds of the corporate. So for an example, tomorrow there is a company, let's say Reliance. You can remain on the first slide. You can just remain on the first slide. Go back by one slide. Thank you. So what happens is that, tomorrow, let's suppose a company would come up, let's say Reliance. Reliance says that I need 100 crore rupees and I need to raise that money from the bank. Okay. So you will do that investment. Tomorrow, Punjab government says, okay, I'm making up this national highway. And for that, I do not have a funds, but I need to take funds from the bank. So government issues their bonds, government issues their debentures, the debt instruments, corporates issues the debt instruments. Okay. So banks would buy that. Okay. And that would, and those things would act as an investment instrument for the bank, and bank would make a lot of money on top of it. Okay. That is also the third thing that we need to cover as a banking 101. Now, for a bank to work, I would say with a lot of, so this entire model is depending on the trust. Okay. How much confidence you have on a bank, because if a depositor is putting up money, because ਕੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਇਦਾਂ ਤੇ ਹੋ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਨया ਬੈਂਕ ਆਏ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਪੈਸਾ ਉਸ ਬੈਂਕ ਨੂੰ ਦੇ ਦਿਓ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, because it needs to have some trust element. That's why there is a central bank, which in India we call it RBI. Okay. Reserve Bank of India. Reserve Bank of India act as a regulator, or act as a big, I would say, the father of all the banks. And constant reporting needs to happen from each of the banks which are operating in India. They need to send us certain reports to the central bank, which would tell the central bank whether this bank is operating profitability, how is the profitability of the bank, whether good practices are being followed in the bank. ठीक है, time पे तुसी देखते होंगे कि sometimes central bank would put certain checks on a bank, right? So when you Google, you will hear there is a PMC bank in Mumbai that was being asked by the central bank not to allow the customers to take out funds. Why? Because bank is short on deposits and very high on loans. So sometimes there are fraud cases within the bank itself. Okay. And all of these things, central bank is keeping an eye on the functioning of all of these banks. So every month, every quarter, and at the year also, every bank has to submit certain number of reports to the central bank so that they know how a particular bank is operating. Is the money of the depositor safe? Are these banks, or is any of the banks involved in some suspicious activities? Are you giving the loans to the right people or not? So these kinds of checks and balances are being kept by the central bank. That's why, most of the people nowadays would say that please deposit your money in a bank which is being backed by RBI. Okay. So that's why people are moving away from the cooperative banks and moving towards more of a nationalized banks within India. So these are some of the, this we call banking 101. Okay. Deposits, loans, investments, and how the trust of all these parties are being maintained. The trust of all these parties are being maintained by a higher authority. And in India, we call this higher authority as RBI, which is a central bank. And every bank has to report about its functioning to the Central Bank of India. So this is the banking 101. So tomorrow, if anybody would ask you about banking, then these are some of the things that you need to know. And now you know whether you need to work in deposits tomorrow, whether you need to work under the loans department, asset sides of the bank. Tomorrow you can work in an investment as an investment banker. Okay. The people who sell mutual funds, the people who sell equities, stocks, shares, insurance. So all of these products come under the investment part of the banking. Okay. Now we can move to the next slide, which would talk about the elements of banking. And we will now go a little bit in detail. So, okay. Now, as we have discussed at the beginning of the session, we would launch a one bank, okay, with you all students, and we call it K Bank, which is Kalgidhar Bank. Okay. Now, as a bank, what I need to do? Okay, what are the different elements of this bank, or what are the different things that I need to keep in mind? So first of all, I'm getting the money from the depositors, and I need to give this money to the needful people. Okay, after doing the proper due diligence, which in the banking terms we call it customer due diligence. Today, whenever you go into the bank, they would ask you for different documents, your Aadhaar card, Okay, maybe they would ask for PAN card also. Okay, they would take these two documents and then open your account. And if you would go to get any loan or a credit card, then they would ask you, please provide your salary slip. Okay, so these are the different due diligence which a bank would do over a customer with respect to the different products that I need to have as a bank. Okay, so the very first element of banking is, or a very first and primary element of a bank is to have different products. Okay, product means I need to have a loan. Savings account ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਾਂ current account ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੇਰਾ ਕੰਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣੇਗਾ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪੈਸਾ ਤਾਂ ਮਿਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਬਟ ਉਹੀ ਪੈਸਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਸਟਮਰ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਣਾ ਵੀ ਹੈ, so that I can make that spread or I can make that particular profit. Okay, as a bank, so I need to have different products for the same. I need to have car loan, I need to have home loan, I need to have personal loan, credit card, offer a service to my customers so that they can buy stocks of companies like Tata, Infosys, Reliance from my own banking account. So we call it Demat account. Okay, and the different other investment products like fixed deposits, recurring deposits. So I need to have bunch of products. Okay, by the way, now you may be able to appreciate, or now you would be able to understand where I work. So I work under credit cards and personal loans. I make those products and make it available to the final users and to the final customers. So this is the product aspect, and this is very, very important. Maybe some of you would get a chance tomorrow to work in any of the Islamic countries. They have their own Islamic banking, which is based on the Islamic principles. Okay, the products would remain the same, but profit sharing would happen because interest in Islam is known as haram. So they don't take the interest, they take the profit sharing. So that is also one of the elements of having a products within the bank. Now, as a bank, I need to have products, deposits, different things through which I'm able to extend that money to the users or to the needful people of that money. But to run all of these products, what I need operations, I need people, I need processes, I need people who would understand these products, I need marketing team, I need sales team, and I need those people to function in a very seamless manner. So operations is very, very important aspect of a bank. How much profit a bank would be able to make at the end of a day, it depends on two things. Okay, whatever I'm sharing with you, it's a very practical knowledge. You would be able to, talk about all of these things during your interviews. So how much profit a bank would make or how much loss a bank is making, it depends only on two things. Basically three things. And two of them is, one is the product, because how good you are or how good is your product. Okay, whether people are liking your product or they are not liking your product. Second thing is, how efficient are you in terms of operations? Okay, are your operations very well streamlined, or are your operations happening in silos and there is a lot of leakage happening in between and the process is so long? So sometimes it happens, right? मैं एक बड़ा normal जो experience लेना. Some of you might have opened a account in a digital bank or in a bank within 1 day or within a 2 day, but you go to a bank like SBI. I mean, I'm talking about from my experience, which happened 6 years back. It took me at least 4 days to open my account. Okay, it shows the operations efficiency of a bank. SBI is not as operationally efficient as ICICI or Kotak Bank or some of your private banks are, because they need to show profitability. They need to work in a very efficient manner so that they have a good profit and loss statement at the end of a quarter or at the end of the year. Operations is very, very important. Now, the third thing is, which is the model, which is the business model of a bank. What is a bank at the end of a day? Let's just pause here and think about this third element, which is a risk management. What am I doing at the end of a day as a bank? Taking a money and extending that money in the form of different products to different people. ठीक है जी? Some of the people may run away with that money. Some of the people may not pay back their loan. Okay, some of the people will take credit card, they spend on a credit card and then they run away. They don't pay their bills. Some of the people take home loan and then they run away, right? You hear so many cases of this nature time to time in the newspapers and on the news channel, that even big corporates have taken 1000 crore loan of a bank and now they are not paying back. They have left the company and move away, right? They have gone to other countries in Europe or in Dubai or somewhere in Canada or in America. Okay, so they are not paying back. And some of the people I may charge, on credit card fees on a personal loan like 10%. Some of the people I may charge 12%. Some of the people I may charge 18%. Okay, so why is it so? So what am I doing at the bank at the end of the day? What I am doing as a bank, I am doing my risk management. Okay, so bank has a very strong credit risk policies and credit risk departments. Okay, now what is the main? So as a bank, you need to have a very strong team of risk managers. Okay, and what they do at the end of a day, whenever a new application of a home loan, personal loan, car loan would come. So tomorrow, if I would go and apply for a home loan, they would ask me number of documents. Sir, send me your salary slip. Sir, send me where are you living right now? Where are you from the past 12 months? Can you send me your salary slips of past 12 months? Do you have any deposits? Do you have loan from any other bank? They would ask you all of these questions, because what they are doing is, the more data elements they have about you, they would be able to they would be able to manage their risk. They know that, okay, this X person is earning 50,000 rupees at the end of a month. Okay, we would be able to extend him a home loan of 15 lakhs or 20 lakhs, something of that nature. If you are earning more, they would be able to extend you more loan. Okay, so there are risk managers. They are very highly paid people in the banking industry. Matlab, if I would talk about some of the risk managers who are getting paid here in Dubai, they are taking more than even $1 million in a year. They are so well paid because entire bank is depending on these risk managers. Okay, so India ke liye, I just maybe because this is a very important topic and there is a very famous exam in the field of finance which you guys can also take, is FRM, financial risk managers. We call it FRM. This is the exam. If you would take, then you can also find your career, or you can make your career in the field of risk management. Okay, so risk management is a very important aspect. If you are not good in managing the risk of a bank, at some point of time, you will make losses. You would not be able to pay back the money of depositors. And at that point of time, you will get defaulted and central bank will come into the picture. They will take away all the authority of the bank, and then they would operate that bank. Okay, so if you want to operate profitability, risk management is very, very important. Then the fourth aspect of a banking, very important thing, because as a bank, you need to do timely reporting about your operations, about your profitability, how you are conducting as an financial institution to the central bank authority and to the other authorities as well, right? If I'm taking, so nowadays you might be hearing this particular TV which we add on the policy bazaar, they ask you, you can check your CIBIL score. What is CIBIL score? Right? CIBIL score is that if you have taken a loan of a K bank and you are paying back your installments on time, your CIBIL score would be good. And if you do not pay even one of the installment, your CIBIL score will come down. Okay, the maximum CIBIL score one can have is 900. So that kind of a reporting a bank has to do to the different organizations, to the different authorities or regulators, and then they would create data about you. Okay, so reporting is very, very important. Okay, so from the elements perspective of a banking, these are the four main pillars. Okay, your products, your operations, your risk management, and your reporting. Okay, this will include entire 360-degree of a bank. If tomorrow you would meet someone and he or she is working in a bank, if you would ask him where he is working, whatever the department he or she would tell you, that department would fit in any of these four pillars. Either it would be in the products or in the operations or in the reporting or under the risk management. Okay, so that's what the elements of banking are. In case you have any questions, anything, I would pause for a few seconds. Let me know if you have any queries. I am happy to answer any questions. If you haven't understood anything or you want to know something more in detail, I'm happy to answer that. Any questions? If no questions, we can proceed ahead to the next slide.
Yes, sir. Proceed to the next slide, sir.
Yeah, we can proceed to the next slide. Okay. Now, this is the last slide of the session and very important one, which would tell you that how banking in 2023 is different from banking in 2010, in 2010 or in 2015. What is happening today and why this is a very exciting field. Point number one, why it is one of those fields that would pay very well to the people who are getting into banking today. Okay, and why it is becoming a niche field where people having an experience of banking um, would remain in demand, and why they would remain in demand. So I would explain to you. So as a bank today, I would ask a very simple question to you and explain to you. If you would take five banks, okay, let's suppose you take SBI, PNB, ICICI, Kotak Bank, and IndusInd Bank. Okay, you take these five banks, you would find their products more or less would remain similar. They have loan, they have account, they have credit card, they have fixed deposits. Okay, and if you would, let's take one product, let's take fixed deposit. Okay, if you would look at the FDs across all of these banks, more or less their percentage will also remain same, 7.5 to 7.65. There won't be much difference between the interest rate on FDs among all the banks. Okay, then how one bank can claim I am better than the other, and how tomorrow I would be able to attract more customers as compared to the other bank. Okay, this has become a very important question because I need to show the growth. I need to get more and more customers so that my profitability would increase. And second thing is that I need to get deposit. And if I have the deposit, I need to have people who would need this money, right? Because I need to manage the assets and liability of a bank. Otherwise, it would become a problem for me, which is a very big concern in the banking, and which we call it assets and liability mismatch. Okay, which we call it ALM in the banking world. So then what is the difference? How I would get more customers as compared to Bank B? How K Bank, Kalgidhar Bank should be able to get more customers as compared to ICICI or Kotak Bank tomorrow? So a very big differentiator among all of these banks is the customer experience. Okay, what kind of experience which we would be able to offer to our customers as compared to other banks? This is a very important aspect of it. That's why today you would see that most of the banks are on app, are on mobile banking and internet banking. Okay, they would let the customers to open the account, get the personal loan, open the fixed deposit through the app itself. So customer experience is a very important aspect in today's banking world. The better the customer experience a bank would have, it would be able to attract more and more customers in the market, and it would become, differentiating bank within the market itself. That's why you would see a lot of generation X or generation Z people, they would prefer to go to ICICI or to Kotak Bank as compared to SBI. Because in Kotak Bank, you would be able to do a lot of stuff over mobile banking, and your entire experience of services is completely different. Okay. Second thing is that new product variants. Nowadays you would see that new products have come in the market. Okay, FDs, personal loans, these are very, very plain vanilla banking products. Okay, but if you would look at banking at an international level, then there are securities backed by mortgages. There are investment models which are which are designed in such a way that the risk is being hedged in a very better manner. So there is a currency hedge funds. Okay, there are a number of hedge funds. So more new products have come into the picture. And though in India, cryptocurrency is not allowed, but apart from India or even in Middle East or in the Southeast Asia, there are many banks, which would have some arm in their banking that would let you to buy cryptocurrency. If I would talk about United Kingdom, so there is a banks like Revolut and Monzo that would let you to buy cryptocurrency from their mobile banking app. Okay, so new products have come into the picture. Third thing is which has become very, very important today is the fintechs. You would see a lot of new companies, lot of startups which are coming into the picture, and they have deep technology based products, technologies like artificial intelligence, API based architecture. So they have those very specific products or very specific capabilities, and bank would now partner with these fintechs in order to provide either the new products or create customer experience as a differentiator. So there are many fintechs in the market. You must have heard this name nowadays a lot, because a lot of new fintech stands for financial technologies, and a lot of new startups which are claiming themselves as fintechs, they are raising new funds. So for an example, Paytm is a fintech. Okay, phone pay is a fintech. Google Pay is a fintech. Okay, because you are taking financial services by using a new technology. Earlier, banks are not offering wallets, but nowadays even banks started offering wallets. Okay, so fintechs driven products are coming. Fourth thing, which is very, very important, is nowadays bank have gone over an omni-channel kind of an experience. So you can start your journey of taking any product. So for an example, I want to take credit card from ICICI Bank. Okay, I can visit to a branch and fill up the form. Okay, but I haven't provided any one of the documents. Okay, tomorrow I can provide the same document over an app and my application can be completed. So this particular feature is known as omni-channel. Omni-channel means channel agnostic. Whether you are taking your banking experience over a mobile, or you are taking your experience over a branch or over an internet banking, it is all related to each other. What does it mean? That it means you can start your journey about any financial product for a specific bank over mobile, and wherever you have left off, you can start the journey of that same product from the same point. You need not to start from the beginning. So the same experience which I have given to you, let's suppose you want to open an account. तो मैंने account opening की application I started from mobile, but मैं उसको complete नहीं कर पाया. I just couldn't complete that entire application. I left it in between. But what happened is I visited to a branch because I was near the branch and I said that I want to open an account. They know, okay, Jaspal, you have started your application. You have finished up to here. You provide me the rest of the information and I will open you the account. There are many banks which have successfully implemented the omni-channel experience. When I was in Singapore, there is a bank, DBS, Development Bank of Singapore, one of the best digital banks. They have implemented omni-channel with lot of success. In India, I have yet to see, but lot of work is happening to happen omni-channel experience for the customers. Now, because more and more people, more and more customers have moved over mobile banking and over internet banking to, to take the banking services or to complete your banking operations. So security has become a very important aspect of it. Okay. Every time to time, you would see RBI launches campaign that do not share your OTP pin, right? So many ads coming whenever you are watching any kind of a program over a TV, you would see such kind of an ads where somebody would telling you, please do not share your OTP number, please do not share your CVV of the credit card, please keep your financial information up to yourself. To be honest, you need not to share, in fact, any of your details with respect to account number, your Aadhaar number with anyone. This is a personal data, and there are companies or there are people who are forging this data in order to dupe you or hurt you financially. So security has become a very important aspect. So banking has been evolved in the past 1 decade, I would say post 2014 and 15. I have seen a big trend in digitalization of customer experience. New products are getting launched in the market so that they keep on getting new customers and more sophisticated customers. Okay. Fintechs have come in the market. We haven't heard about Paytm in 2015 and 16, right? Only post demonetization, we have heard about Paytm. And now today, Paytm has become such an important part of our life. So fintechs now coming into this banking industry or in financial services rather, and then having that, providing that layer of security and omni-channel experience, collectively the banking has moved to the other level. Lot of people have written many books about it. The term which they would use for this kind of new modernization of banking is banking 4.0. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਜਾਓਗੇ ਤੇ ਗੂਗਲ ਕਰੋਗੇ banking 4.0. Banking 4.0 is actually defining all of these pillars. Okay ji. So this is the modernization of banking, and that's how the very first slide which we have, where we have talked about the basics of banking, from there till the modernization of banking, those elements will remain over there. But that's how the complete journey or complete transformation of the banking industry has happened very significantly in the past 7 and 8 years, not just only in India, but across the world. So that's what I want to share with respect to modernization of banking. Before we go ahead and talk about, Canada versus America versus UK versus Dubai, in case you have any queries, any question, please feel free to ask any queries. And then we talk about the last factor of it, which is that how you need to, continue and what is the importance of Dubai and all those things. Yeah, my floor ਨੂੰ ਦੇਣਾ ਕੰਟਰੋਲ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਹੋਏ, please feel free to ask.
Is there any question, students? Is there any question, students? You can ask.
Good afternoon, all present here. Myself, Dr. Rakesh, working as assistant professor. I am standing here to present my sincere thanks to our honorable guest, Jaspal sir, for sharing his valuable thoughts and insights and knowledge about the modernization of banking. And he really touched various dimensions of banking, such as the basic structure of banking, elements of banking, and how the paradigm shift has been happening in the banking sector. And most of the participants are from business, or you can say commerce background. So I hope so. This session was really, you can say, interesting and knowledgeable for all of you, and you will able to use this knowledge for your further progress in the life. So thank you very much, sir, for your time, and I hope so you will interact in future as well with our students. Thanks again. Thanks a lot.
Sure, definitely, Professor. I would talk more with the students in the future as well. The last element which Harmeet ji has told me to talk about, how Dubai is different as compared to Canada or to America. I want to share something, from my own experience. So I'm a postgraduate, also in business, which is a master's in business administration, and I did my MBA from IIM Udaipur. So even when I was a student, I was thinking about cracking GMAT and go to either to Canada or to America. But when I look at the cost and benefit, because right from the beginning, I'm very good in mathematics, and I always take my decisions on the basis of what ROI I'm getting. So at that point of time, I realized instead of taking 40-50 lakhs of loan and go to Canada or to America, it is better to spend a amount which is around 8-9 lakhs, or maybe 5 to 7 lakhs, because India has a good value for education. Okay, and then it is better if you go out when you are working somewhere. Okay, so this would be very, very helpful. And how Dubai is different is because today there is a lot of modernization is happening in Dubai as compared to other countries, and Dubai is moving on the model of Singapore. Singapore got modernized in 2003. When this particular century got started, they actually shifted the model of Singapore, how it needs to become more efficient, and it has become a country like America within the Southeast Asia region. Similarly, today Dubai is going through a process of transformation, and financial industry is reaching to the new heights. So the cost of and you would be able to earn better money over here. I mean, today, if you would compare the amount of money which people are earning in Dubai vis-a-vis with Canada and with America, the inflation in Canada and in America is way too high. People are paying too much of taxes, and they are not even able to cover their living cost. Where in Dubai, you need not to pay any taxes. This country is tax-free, complete tax-free. So and plus you would get good amount of money over here. Second thing is, which is very important, I always believe that as long as you remain connected with your roots, you would be a satisfied person or a very content person at the end of a day. So living near India is also a very major factor. I believe it is one of the factors in the life of many students as well. Okay, so that's what Dubai would offer you. Okay, as compared to Canada or America, I believe you are getting a very good education in Akal University. This education would certainly put you on the path to get a good job in India. Start with India, if not outside. Or maybe if some of you would be really good, they would get an opportunity to do internship in Dubai. In fact, I did my internship in Dubai in 2013. That's how I was able to crack an interview in 2019. Right? So these small steps would put you, on a big journey. So I would say right now your focus should be to understand your studies, to clear your fundamentals, to develop your interest in one or the in one of the two domains, and then try to find out an opportunity. And I think today Dubai is really changing the world, and it would be a very good opportunity if you would get a job over here and get the experience of Middle East industry. And you would find even people are coming from UK, from Canada, from America, and they work in Dubai because they need not to pay taxes, and they would be able to save a lot of money. And at the end of a day, whatever you are holding in your bank account, that would really give you a financial cushion to live a very meaningful or to live a very safe life in future. So that's what my thoughts are with respect to this. In case if anybody has any specific query, feel free to do so. I can see there is one message from someone, and he is very interested. So please let me ask a question, MBA student. Please go ahead. Please ask your question.
Is there any question, students? You can ask.
Someone
So-
in the chat box is saying that he wants to ask. Please unmute.
So you can unmute them.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Can
Sir,
yeah, please go ahead.
sir, I'm Anchal from MBA Business Analytics from Akal Business School. I have a doubt that how do modern banks optimize their marketing strategies using customer segmentation and personalized offers based on data analysis?
Okay, very good question. And it is one of the things that we also do day in and day out. So what happens is whenever a customer, let's suppose you are a customer and say you are a customer of an ICICI bank. Okay, and whenever you log in over an ICICI bank app, you do different actions. Okay, maybe you look at fixed deposits. Okay, maybe you look at your some other product, maybe you look at mutual funds, and you go through the app. Okay, so I started capturing data about you. That's point number one. Second point is, I know that, for an example, this particular person, let's say I take an example of myself in this case, that Jaspal is having a salary account with ICICI Bank and he's earning X amount. Okay. And he's earning consistently this X amount. Okay. And plus he has this saving of Y amount. Okay. So what happens is, I'm 100% sure in in business analytics, you would be making different kind of models. The bank in which I'm working right now, we use a tool known as SAS analytics, where we make different kinds of models. Okay. We take as much data about the customer um, as possible, which are present in our database. And on the basis of that, they create a model and they feed those data in the model. And then that model would tell, okay, what kind of a products you need to show to Jaspal when the next time he would log in on the app. So, sometimes it does happen with you, when you log in the next time in the app and you have a history of a certain months with the bank, they would start projecting a different ads to you, or they would start sending you SMS or emails. Okay. So those things are very personalized in nature. Those ads or those SMS or those emails, they don't go to mass segment. They don't go to everyone. They go to a very specific segment of the customer. So that gives a very personalized marketing. I would say marketing campaigns are being run in a very personalized manner over, especially over digital channels. And that's how the spending is also being pushed. So data is very, very important. In fact, I can tell you, I have worked with a data analytics guy um, in order to predict that from my portfolio of 60,000 people, which are the people who may close my credit card in the coming months. So data is very important nowadays, and we are not leaving even a one single click of the customer, without having that feed back to our database. So we use all of these data. We use your bank account data. We use what kind of a money you are keeping, where are you spending. So tomorrow, if we have let's say we know that you are using your card to pay Uber. Okay, we may tell you, please add our card into the Uber app and we will give you 10% off next time. So such kind of a thing, such kind of a data elements are being used in order to promote more banking marketing campaigns and very personalized banking products to a particular customer segment. Yeah, please go ahead. Somebody wants to ask question, please.
Unmute them, sir.
Yeah, I unmute them.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for explaining this in such a great way. And last but not the least question, that what career opportunities and roles are available for MBA graduates doing
Okay.
doing in business analysis, sir?
Okay. I think business analytics is a very good stream because banks are doing a lot of stuff when it comes to data. See, if you have a right skill set, okay, and if you do proper internship in the banking domain, I can tell you there are a number of opportunities for you in the banking world. So I would like to go a little bit more specific on this particular question because this is a very important one, and I think it would give you a good overview about the banking. So if you are in banking analytics and you know modeling very well, so it means you know Python very well, you know about certain libraries very well, like pandas, numpy, all of these keras, and how to structure a model and train a model. Okay. So what I would suggest to you is that, as students, what you need to focus upon right now is, please make your portfolio. whatever you do as a sideline project or as an assignment which is given to you as a part of your MBA curriculum, try to put it over public website like GitHub, right? There is a repository of GitHub where you can keep your code and open it for even for the public as well if they want to use. What it helps you is that it would help you to make your entire portfolio. So for an example, if you would get 10 assignment within a year and you have made those 10 different models, okay, uh, especially with the help of somebody, or you are working in a group, 4 or 5 students also are working in a group, GitHub is a very important repository that would enable you to share your codes among a team as well. Okay, at the end of a year, you have a public profile where you can showcase to a to somebody or to a potential recruiter in future that I have worked on all of these products, on all of these projects, and this is my role and responsibility which I have played, and I have the information and a hands-on practical knowledge about working on all of these models. See, please do understand the one thing which is very, very important nowadays. As banker, even I also have a data analyst in my team, and time to time I bombard him with different questions. Tell me how my portfolio is doing. Tell me who are going to leave credit card. Tell me how spending is happening. Tell me how many people are actually spending on this particular category. Okay, so we bombard them every now and then with questions, and they need to come up with the data and with clear insights. Insights are very important. So what I would suggest to you that there is a lot of scope, so don't worry about scope, but how you can differentiate yourself from the other people who are competing from the same job is make your portfolio and make your portfolio public. And tomorrow, whenever you go for any kind of an interview, whether it is for internship or for your full-time job, share your online portfolio with the potential recruiter. Sir, this is my portfolio. This is what I have done in my life. Please go through that and then I will appear for the interview. Okay, this gives a lot of confidence to us. Even today, I also hire business analytics or business analyst in my team. And the first thing that I would ask them is, please share your portfolio with me. And that would give me a good amount of idea that what kind of a work this guy has done in his life and how much experience he has. So do such kind of a things and don't worry about opportunities. There are a number of opportunities in banking, in investment banking, in products, in operations. And to be very honest, today you would hear every now and then the new data is the new oil, right? Because data is the gold commodity that a bank is sitting upon, and we want to monetize our data. For that, we need people like you. So that's where I believe that's the approach I think that you should be taking. And I think I'm 100% sure you would be able to crack a very good opportunity in future. Thank you. And we will definitely do more specific sessions. Maybe next time. I think I have today is a first session, so I do not know what, I mean, what level of people or what level of questions or what is actually the need. So I started with a very a small primer on banking. Next time, maybe I would come up with more details on business analytics, different case studies. Okay, more practical case studies which are happening in the bank. And that would give you a good insight about, okay, how data is getting used in banking to generate more value for the customers as well as for the bank at the end of a day. So thanks. I think it's yeah.
Yes, sir. That's great experience with you, sir. We look forward for next session, sir. Thanks. This is a great session, sir. It's a great session, sir. Inclusive, heartful, great.
Sorry, your voice is little having a problem. Yeah. Okay, not able to hear you properly, but I got your
complex financial topics in an understandability with this webinar has been an invaluable learning experience, and we greatly appreciate your time and efforts in sharing your knowledge with us. Thank you so much for making this event success, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank